Okay, so let's just have at it.
Commander, how may I help you, Commander?
Is there anything I should
You have
know?
unread anything else?
All right.
Out there, Shepard.
Okay. Thank you for my daughter, Diana. Neff's mother. Thank you, Ari Talok, for being so kind to people. Now let's just do the usual round of debriefing we have done normally, for once. Because last episode we completed Thane and Samara's loyalty missions. It's weird that Thane's default outfit's technically lighter. As you can see here, we're now at the point where more or less everyone in the squad is wearing Shepard colors. And that's actually one of the cool things about the suicide mission and the loyalty stuff. Everyone starts out unique, but unaligned with you. And then when you help them gain their loyalty for you, they become dedicated to your will, and thus wear your colors. First I'm going to go to the captain's cabin because I'm going to change my armor up. The reason I'm doing this is because since my entire playstyle revolves around getting my shielding back as a sentinel, the capacitor, chest piece, and armor are pretty much the best thing I can wear. So it's not a huge deal if I don't necessarily always get the highest cooldown time. I only need that right now.
Commander, can I help you with something?
I'm more interested in just talking for a bit.
If you want, Commander. Cerberus has ranks, but it's not the Alliance. No rules about fraternization. Your boat, your call. You want to get friendly with everyone? That's your business.
Relax, Jacob. I'm just interested in what makes you tick.
Anyone else said that, I'd walk away. Most Cerberus people try to play like the elusive man, hiding bullshit behind a smile. But you? I like what I've seen. I'll give you a shot. What do you want to know?
You want to talk about what happened with your father?
I don't really have anything to say about that, Commander. It's done with.
Anyone waiting for you back home?
Only child and no extended family. Never settled down. Didn't seem fair with this job. But you can't miss what you never had.
So he won't talk anymore about his dad. Alright.
I know you and Miranda worked together. I got the impression it might have been more than that.
It got a little close. Then it got really far apart. The rest isn't your business, Commander.
Alright. Alright, fine.
Consider it dropped. I trust you to keep everything professional, Jacob.
Thanks. That always bugged me about the Alliance. They didn't let people handle their own problems. Cerberus isn't any better. They just put more effort into hiding how much they spy on you.
Let them watch. We're not hiding anything.
Wouldn't matter if we were. It's not like they can reel us in. We're handling this, whether they like it or not. Anyway, I should get back to prep. Nice talking to you, Shepard. Let's do it again sometime.
Alright, so Jacob's deal is that he and Miranda used to date, then that was the end of that. And he won't talk about his dad, which is understandable considering that he pretty much said everything he could have said about his sorry excuse for a father. And obviously, Jacob isn't a basket case like 99% of your crewmates on this boat. So he has no reason to keep angsting about it after the fact. He got his closure, and he's genuinely focused on the mission. That does make him more boring, I suppose, because unlike Caden, who actually is the same archetype of the stable male party member on your ship, the problem with Jacob is that he's very unwelcoming to you for the most part. He's too guarded. Caden will open up to you about some really traumatic stuff if you keep talking to him, but Jacob just switches off for the most part, and it will take us a while for him to get any type of open camaraderie. Too long for some people.
Shepard, how can I help?
Have you got a minute to talk?
Yes, good timing, in fact. Excellent. Maybe can share results while next samples grow. Hate waiting for culture analysis. Never fast enough. Usually no result in advance. Just checking work. Have to be careful. Getting off track. Discovery. Based on Prothean collector connection, can examine technology, chart Reaper species modification, fall of Protheans.
Tell me what happened.
Early stages similar to indoctrination. Can guess captured Protheans lost intelligence over several cloned generations. Cybernetic augmentation widespread afterward. As Protheans failed, Reapers added tech to compensate. Mental capacity almost gone, replaced by overworked sensory input transfers. Transmitting data to masters.
Is there anything we can do to help them?
No. No glands replaced by tech.
Tech.
No
A digestive system replaced by tech. No soul replaced by tech. Whatever they were, gone forever.
Understand now?
Yeah, it's
No culture,
tragic.
Closer to husks than slaves. Tools for Reapers. Protheans dead. Collectors just final insult. Must be destroyed.
They pretty much have to be, unfortunately. Though, in Mass Effect 3's multiplayer, there is a lore reason for some of the collectors to actually be rescued from their abominable fate. But we're gonna have to wait, I don't even, but yeah. We're gonna have to wait a long while to get to that.
What is it about the Collector's modification that bothers you so much?
Disrupts socio-technological balance. All scientific advancement due to intelligence overcoming, compensating for limitations. Can't carry a load, so invent wheel. Can't catch food, so invent spear. Limitations. No limitations, no advancement. No advancement, culture stagnates. Works other way, too. Advancement before culture is ready. Disastrous. Saw it with Krogan. Uplifted by Solarians. Disastrous. Our fault.
You blame the Solarians for what the Krogan did?
Yes, like giving nuclear weapons to cavemen. Krogan unprepared for spaceflight, technological advance. Krogan could have evolved alone, worked out aggression, been ready to use new tech responsibly. Instead, Solarians came, disrupted Krogan culture, used Krogan as blunt instrument against Rachni. Short-sighted. Foolish.
If you feel that way, why did you work on the genophage modification?
Talked before. Best option. That, or kill them all. If around during first contact, would have argued against it. Wasn't there then. Do what I can.
Yeah, I will say this again. I honestly think it would have been more moral to just make the Krogan go extinct if the only other choice back then was we control their genetic destiny forever, because the latter is far more psychologically damaging and frankly far scarier when you really think about all the implications of that. And the fact that the Solarians can always do that again is why I do see why Morden thinks it's the Solarians' fault. Granted, no one could have known at the time that the Rachni were basically thralls themselves at the time of the Rachni War. Even the Rachni didn't know. We'll get into that later. Way later, though.
I didn't think you needed any more motivation than you already had to stop the Collectors.
Enjoyed challenge. Saw necessity of attack on Collectors after Plague on Omega. Their work, my people. Hard to care about two armies. One wins, one loses. Always work to do after. Now, have more context. See what Collectors are. Wasn't looking for other work before. Don't mean to imply that. Just committed now. Won't let you down.
Yeah, I understand. You just need some reason to care besides the idea this is just a slugfest. That's fine.
You said the Collectors had no art. I had no idea you cared about that kind of thing.
Personal interest negligible. Sang a little. Multi-species productions for cultural exploration. Gilbert and Sullivan always had me do the patter songs. But not about me. Cultural artistic expression reflects philosophical evolution, interest in growth, perspective, observation, interpretation. Suspect you won't see any art in collector base. Culturally dead. Tools for Reapers. Worse than the Geth.
Here it is.
I'm sorry. I know that was important, but you performed Gilbert and Sullivan?
I am the very model of a scientist Solarian. I've studied species Turian, Asari, and Batarian. I'm quite good at genetics as a subset of biology because I am an expert, which I know is a tautology. My xenoscience studies range from urban to agrarian. I am the very model of a scientist Solarian.
Whoever Morton's voice actor is, they are incredible. They're just incredible.
Thanks for sharing what you've learned, Morton.
Proud to be here, Shepard. Thank you for including me.
The very model of a scientist Solarian. Find a new Commander Shepard in a different class or genre to see what you missed. The fact that the game outright encourages you to have multiple playthroughs is not shocking, but something I really kind of missed, frankly.
What's wrong?
They lost contact with New Canton. Might be the collectors.
Did your family get out of there?
I don't know. There's no communications yet.
I'm sure they're safe. You'll see.
Yeah, I'm sure they're safe too.
Morinth haunted my dreams and waking hours equally. For the first time in 400 years, I am free. I am a ruined vessel of sorrow and regret, but I am free. It is not a feeling I can describe.
You did your duty. What about your feelings?
One of my daughters is dead. My hopes, my dreams were all bound up in my children. Still, my feelings have always come after my duty. The same is true of you.
Was it worth it?
It was never a question of worth, but of need. I had to take the action I did, as did she. This was never a story that would have a happy outcome.
You said that Morinth was a monster, but she was still your daughter.
She was the strongest and smartest. She would not accept the injustice thrust upon her. She fought to the end. I am so proud of her, Shepard.
You killed her for being what she was.
And I would again. But I also know what it means to leave everything behind and fight. Do you realize that she went on the run at the age of 40? I do not know human years well, but it is very young for Asari.
If we do a basic 1 year for a human and make it the equivalent of 100 years for an Asari, 10 years for an... Okay, so Asaris have an average lifespan of 1,000. Humans can get up to 100 years in lifespan. So Asari live 10 times as long as a human. So every 1 human year is 10 years for an Asari. That means that a 4-year-old human was able to start going on the run from the law, which is kind of absurd when you think about it. But that's just my opinion. Don't take it too seriously. Maturity between different fictional species is not something anyone can really talk about too much.
Was it worth it?
It was never a question of worth, but of need. I had to take the action I did, as did she. This was never a story that would have a happy outcome.
What will you do now that Morinth is gone?
Assuming I survive your mission, I am a Justicar. Injustice still exists, and perhaps even other Ardat Yakshi.
So, Justicars I called Space Samurai back when we recruited Samara earlier in the Let's Play. I've since seen a better application of this type of concept, and now I believe it's actually better to call Samara here an Asari Jedi. Which means that the Ardat Yakshi, like Morinth, are Asari Sith. Specifically, Morinth is an Asari Sith.
Morinth claimed that her condition was the future of the Asari race.
Morinth would say anything that served her cause. Ardat Yakshi are sterile, Shepard. That wouldn't be a particularly viable future for my people.
Yeah, you think Morinth would have gotten that at some point. I am the genetic destiny of the Asari. Now here is all the babies I can't have.
I thought Ardat Yakshi were extremely rare.
Asari have spread to many worlds. There are remote regions with no government oversight. If I travel to those worlds and they do exist, I will find them.
There's no way to correct the condition Morant had?
We are an advanced species, but we don't have magic. When the trait manifests at maturity, it is too late for mitigation. It only occurs in purebloods like myself. Perhaps that is the root of the stigma regarding Asari-exclusive pairings. I don't know.
Yeah, you guys are really old as a race. And things like this are usually far, far longer than...
There's no way to correct the condition Morant had?
Far older than any race in the first place.
But we don't have magic. When it manifests at maturity, it is too late for mitigation. It only occurs in purebloods like myself.
You don't want to settle down?
I did. I returned to my homeworld and tried to start a family. I will fight and struggle all my life. That is my fate. When I die, it will not be in bed. I am at peace with that.
You still control the direction of your life.
I have chosen this path. I truly am at peace, due in no small part to you.
How do you think our mission is going?
Spirits are high. We have a strong team and everyone is committed.
So basically, everyone that we have recruited so far is loyal except for Tali.
How are you?
Perhaps we could speak later.
I should go.
Of course.
Alright.
Shepard, the men's restroom is on the port side of the ship.
Just testing you,
I
Edie.
believe the collectors were once Protheans.
Yeah, that's pretty weird.
Protheans being regal, not giant bugs.
I mean, technically, the Protheans were regal for the most part.
Shepard, need me for something?
Have you got a minute?
Can it wait for a bit? I'm in the middle of some calibrations.
What can you tell me about the
The
Normandy
weapons
car?
upgrades have gone in beautifully. This thing packs a hell of a punch. It just might give us a chance against the collectors.
Great.
Have you got any upgrade ideas?
My current upgrades are working pretty well.
Alright.
Talk to you later, Garrett.
I'll be here if you need me.
Fair enough. We got that settled. And we're pretty much done with Garrus. He's got the Caden syndrome, where you don't get much out of him if you aren't romancing him with a female shepherd, unfortunately.
Commander, what can I do for you?
Miranda?
Of course. I'd been meaning to speak with you, in fact.
No, she's not ugly. That's silly. That's fucking silly.
I wanted to apologize. I didn't fully believe you'd be up to the task, and it seems I was wrong. Frankly, based on what I've seen, I wish Cerberus had recruited you earlier.
Alright, we're gonna have to have this question eventually.
I trust you, but I don't trust Cerberus. Your experiments crossed the line.
All the time, yes. But I recall a Spectre who crossed a few lines while hunting down Saren and the Geth, and we'd be lucky to have you. Too many join us out of simple xenophobia. We need more people here for the right reasons.
What was Cerberus trying to prove by experimenting on children like Jack?
A mistake, no question. Not mine. And one that was corrected once we discovered the extent of the experiments being performed.
I saw your bases years ago. You were using Rachni, Thorian creepers, even husks to make your own army.
The husks were already dead, the Thorian creatures were mindless, and the Rachni were abandoned once we understood their intelligence. We weren't breeding an army, we were breeding expendable shock troops for high-risk scenarios. How many soldiers died in Saren's attack on Eden Prime? How many would have lived if we'd had just a dozen Rachni soldiers on our side?
That's more or less the same argument Malin used to justify his experiments on the Krogans he was killing to create a genophage cure. Would the Krogan have... Why is this like a reference to something in real life? Like, what if we had these super aliens to defend this human colony? Like... I mean, of course humans would see it that way, because the Council... If the alien races were allowed to interbreed, intermingle with the other Citadel races, would have Saren's attack on Eden Prime been more or less successful, depending on how early. Like, I think the problem here is assuming that the Krogan and the Rachni would not become as hostile to the human race as the other Citadel species were. Like, it's hindsight because we don't actually know what they're like as people. So it's a little... It's all hypothetical because we can never know if a civilized Rachni and or Krogan species, by the time humanity entered the Citadel space, would care about the human race or empathize with them or whatever. So no one's right about what they're... Melian and Miranda here are not right about what they're asking, but because it's a hypothetical, I can't actually say they're wrong either. Why does Miranda personally like Cerberus, though, at the end of the day?
With your intelligence, you could get any job you wanted. Why choose this?
Because I still envy the time Morden spent with the Special Tasks Group, working with people as smart as he was. Cerberus never tells me that something is impossible. They give me my resources and say do it. And they've given you even more. A new life, a new ship, the elusive man's personal attention.
What? You disapprove?
No. I'm just impressed. You're... Well, look at you. A kid from the slums of Earth. No family, little formal education. And you've done more than I could. Despite everything my father did to make me perfect. You're the best humanity has to offer.
You always bring up your genetic tailoring. It really bothers you, doesn't it?
This is what I am, Shepard. I can't hide it. The intelligence, the looks, even the biotics. He paid for all of that. Every one of your accomplishments is due to your skill. The only things I can take credit for are my mistakes.
So a lot of people don't really like Miranda's attitude or find her backstory. The people who don't like Miranda especially dislike her backstory and her angst about her supposed perfection. And while that would be okay if the story played it straight, the fact that the whole thing is about... The fact their whole story is about how much she resents it and how much that weighs on her every day. The best analog I can think for here is there are some people out there who just hate people who are better off than them for whatever reason. Having more money, being smart enough to get a better education, what have you. Miranda is like that, but in a much more unrealistic fashion. It's a much more high concept. Not unrealistic, high concept. So, Mass Effect is... BioWare's writing in general for the Mass Effect games is taking the face value, the at-face presentation of something, and then making you realize there's something more there. So if you just flat out don't like Miranda, or I'll say it, if you don't like Miranda or Jack because of what they are at face value, and you just aren't satisfied with what's underneath, that's fine. But saying there's nothing there for either of them, I really can't agree with.
That's a tough feeling to live with. Maybe after we save the galaxy, you'll change your mind.
We can hope. Thanks for coming by, Shepard. I appreciate it.
But yeah, I do think Miranda is a little bit jealous. Like, she's jealous about someone who has no reason to be as successful as they are in the eyes of some people. And it's completely, and it's just completely blown away by how well they've done for themselves, and that's something I can understand.
Do you need something?
Have a few minutes to talk?
Certainly.
If you don't mind my saying, you don't really seem like an assassin.
You've spent too much time fighting thugs who think custom-painted armor makes them professionals.
Oh god, that's so good. That's a good line.
You've been killing since you were 6?
Of course not. I didn't make my first kill until I was 12. They were training me. I was not to be used and thrown away. I was an investment.
You were a child, not an investment.
I've given you the wrong idea. They valued me, yes, as a resource, but also as a person. They regretted their need for me.
The Hanar? Excessively polite, worship the Protheans? They don't seem the type who'd train assassins.
Every species trains assassins. The Hanar are only unusual in that they need other species to do the killing for them. They have a strong grip on natural toxins, but have you ever seen one move quickly outside of water? Or fire a gun?
Why did your parents agree to this?
Yeah, pretty much.
The compact. It was an honor for our family.
The compact?
We live on the Hanar homeworld because they rescued us. Some of us from extinction. We owe them our lives. That is the compact.
What exactly are the terms of the compact?
There are many things the Hanar can't do, even with mechanical aid. They ask Drell to assist them.
This can't be legal. They made your whole race into slaves.
Don't insult me, Shepard. Anyone can refuse to serve. Few do. We owe our existence to the Hanar. We are proud to repay the debt.
That's fair enough. I just had to ask for clarity.
Why was your race going extinct?
Overpopulation. That must sound trite to you. Humans developed mass effect drive before the problem became acute. Our homeworld, Rakana, had few resources. We hadn't even developed fusion power when the soil began to fail from overuse and pollution. The Hanar found us a century ago. They sent hundreds of ships, evacuated thousands of us. Billions more had to be left behind.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
What's the state of Rakana now?
Do you read your philosophers? A man named Thomas Hobbes. When all the world is overcharged with inhabitants, and the last remedy of all is war, which provideth for every man by victory or death. As Rakana died around them, my people slaughtered each other for mouthfuls of water, crumbs of food.
Yikes.
But you don't kill for the Hanar anymore. You're freelance. What changed?
I was asleep for a long time, yes. I paid no attention to what my body was asked to do, but then... laser dot trembles on the skull. One finger twitch, he dies. Then, the smell of spice on the spring wind. Sunset-covered eyes defiant in the scope. The laser dances away. My apologies. Drell slip into memory so easily.
Was that one of your assassinations?
Yes. Perhaps we can discuss it later. I've wasted too much of your time.
Now, we've seen that effect several times alone in Thane's recruitment, in Thane's loyalty mission, but this is the first time we're supposed to be able to actually talk about it.
Garrus put some crazy tech into the main guns. It's almost doubled their power draw.
But they seem pretty wicked.
Indeed. Don't worry. A few tweaks to the forward capacitors, and the balance is back in line.
Whenever we have time, I've gotten the migrant fleet's location.
Can you do anything to give the Normandy?
Definitely. With the right supplies, I can fortify our shields. The Collectors cut through the Normandy's barriers immediately last time. My upgrades might give us a better chance.
This is basically the last time I need Palladium 2. Ooh. Or not. No, I don't need more pistol damage. In fact, I don't really need more assault rifle damage now I think about it. Alright. Let's get it.
Hey.
What do you think of Miranda and Jacob?
Jacob doesn't know who he is, but that's not my problem. Miranda's a Cerberus bitch. Knew that before she opened her mouth.
I picked up a lot of resources.
I figured out those L5Xs. Consider yourself lucky. It's not like I keep a library of this shit around.
What do you think of our mission?
I know when someone's got murder on their mind. The Collectors are out to kill us. Rather do it to them first.
Tell me something I don't know about you.
Nothing to tell. Why?
I want to know more, and I'm not going away.
I'm here to fight for you. Nothing says we have to be friends, but whatever. Something you don't know, huh? Obvious stuff, like what's up with my ink, or something else just as boring? You're not really interested unless it affects you. I've been through all this shit before.
I could be genuine. You have no way of knowing.
I have eyes, and I have history. You'll back off. As soon as you realize you're not the first, and I'm immune to your help.
I'll bite. What's with the tattoos?
Some are for prisons I've been in. Some are for kills. You know, good ones. Some are for things I've lost. Those aren't your business. They're nobody's business. And some are because, hey, not.
You work pretty hard at not letting people get close.
I've been with lots of people. If you're asking about a boyfriend or a girlfriend, no. It's a waste of time and it never works. You let someone get that close, it just means they need a shorter knife. Lonely and alive works just fine, thanks.
You're tough, but you can't have survived alone all these years.
When I was starting out, I ran with this girl Manara and her boyfriend. They knew their way around. I thought they'd help me. Right. They helped me into their bed. And when we finally did take down something big, they helped themselves to my share of the take. I knew where it was heading, and I got them first. Never bothered with friends after that.
They sound like selfish pricks. That doesn't mean they were gonna kill you.
I get feelings. I don't need proof. I did the smart thing. I always do the smart thing if people fuck with me. That's probably something you should remember.
You work pretty
I've been with
hard
lots
not
of
letting.
You let someone get that close, it
Seems like you miss it a little more than you want to admit.
pick every little word apart if you want, but it doesn't change the way the galaxy works. Come on, you've been around.
I have to go, but we should do this again.
Wait. My turn with the question. People usually walk by now. Why are you really asking all these things? Are you eyeing me up? Because if this is just about sex, maybe you should just fucking say so.
Oh boy. Nope.
I'm in no hurry. I want to know what makes you tick first.
You don't need to know someone to sleep with them. You just have to know where to put it. Okay. Maybe we'll talk later.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I think I autosaved the going to... I had to make an autosave to Tally. I don't really mean to imply that I was going to sleep with Jack. That's the first branch for romance path, I know that.
Garrus put some crazy tech into the main guns. It's almost...
Whenever we have time, I've gotten the migrant. The collectors cut.
Hey.
What do you think of Miranda?
Jacob doesn't know. I figured out those...
Tell me something. I want to know more.
Something you don't... You're not really interested unless...
I could be
I have
genuine.
eyes. Some are for prisons I've been in. Some are for kills. You know,
I don't
good
like...
ones. Some are for things I've lost. Those aren't your business. They're nobody's business. And some are because... Hey, why the fuck none? I knew where it was heading.
So I don't... So after going through all this, I can actually understand why people might find Jack
You
too...
eyeing me up? Because if this is just about sex...
I'm not looking for that.
I don't get you. You don't want... Okay, maybe we'll talk later.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Yeah, you don't get it because you're a damaged, broken individual who's only used to being used by other people. I get that. You'll get it eventually, too.
Shepard.
What are your thoughts about
We'll push our enemies to the edge of space, then step on their fingers one at a time until the void takes them.
Did O'Keefe give you any imprints about the Collectors?
You already know more than he did. O'Keefe is barely useful.
What are your thoughts about our mission?
We'll push our enemies to the edge of space.
What do you think about the crew?
Good bunch if they stay out of my way. Dead bunch if
anything in your tank imprints that can make use of?
Might have some.
And Krogan's shotgun for you.
Shepard.
Just checking in. How you doing?
I'm branching out. Got a list of enemies now. They all give me joy when I picture cutting them, crushing them. There's this one imprint, a Solarian with the... what are they? The things on his head pulled apart? Bet it caused a generation of revenge. What is that, a few weeks for them? So what did you want?
You know, I kind of thought connecting with your past would bring stability.
See, now we're having fun. Me remembering good deaths, and you with your funny human thing you're doing. My job is to hurt things. Direction, control, that's your job, Battlemaster. You're why I'm a soldier, not dead or crazed like an animal. Thank you, Shepard. You gave me purpose. Now let's find something big to kill.
No problem. Let's see. Only person I have to talk to would be the DLC characters, which are not people I want to talk to. Maybe they'll get their own episode, I don't know. But this is N7 mission time, so we got that out of the way. Let's actually do an N7 mission now. Alright. Disable the blood hack communications relay, which you're technically supposed to find by doing the blood pack base mission first, but it's whatever.
The fog on the planet's surface is interfering with your navigation. The nearby beacon towers may serve as a navigational contingency.
What happened here? toxin concentrations exceeding safe levels. Proceeding with caution.
So the gist here is that you're basically walking through a mist level, and the only way to... use the beacon's light to find the path.
Just looking to help.
Feel the blood rage.
Why were they here?
Fall banana evacuating shells in the way, not the guy host bugs.
Signs of recent fighting.
On the ground, now!
Enjoy.
As long as you follow the light beacon path that you make, you're not gonna get lost. Though I wonder if the better lighting on the Legendary Edition sorta renders a lot of the difficulty of this mission obsolete. Basically, the Blood Pack are using this base as a relay for a reason. It's a poisonous world that's really hazardous to most other organic forms of life. But the Blood Pack are full of dudes who are used to... and I mean used to being around... used to so they're regenerating freaks of nature, so they don't really have to worry about being infected by toxin or whatever. They're basically immune. At the end, we're going to be fighting some Blood Pack as well, so the combination of Grunt and Morden is actually pretty nice, especially on normal difficulty.
Just nothing to help.
Alright. Since we're next to the area, we'll take out that Eclipse base too. Might as well, since it's in the same quadrant. And then we'll go back to the Normandy for another follow-up.
Commander, you've received a new message at your private terminal.
Commander.
What do you think about the people?
Well, Grunt is not a stabilizing element, Commander. No surprise, Morden acts superior to everyone, like he's got tenure at FU. It's just my opinion, though. There's really no need to go spreading it around.
So, how do you think we're doing?
Well, the Normandy's good. Everything's upgraded and better than ever. If we're talking about the crew, you probably have to ask a people person.
That's it for now.
See you, Commander.
Okay, so updating the kid is really cool, but you get this information to go to Zalaban if you didn't do the Blood Pack base mission yet. Alright, we're going to find Eclipse here, so we need to prepare for shields and mercenaries. You're good. Reeve it up. Reeve. Alright, 10 all request to escort from shipment claim prior activity on the way. That's fine. Alright. Just gonna use the Black Storm first. And that's how it would work if it was actually going to be working. Reeve. Nope, not there. Con la clase Warner mercenary attack, escort civilians to crew quarters, and return to work area to activate computer all costs. Of course. Not mainframe. Why are they mentioning mainframe? But it's why are they mentioning freaking mainframe? Mainframe. Encrypted day, decrypt it. So what's happening now is Samara switch your collector's rifle. Alright. So firing an unrealistic black hole is going to be fun. Alright.
Go to the sea.
Some humans in the eclipse. Come on, get out the cover. Alright. Alright, enough of this. Reeve. Huh. Alright, decryption complete. This is set to for analysis. We're done here. End the mission. We're at level 27 now. And we're gonna cut this video off so we can, I guess, cut the VOD in half because this has gone on long enough.